It will be the task of the future generations to give Nansen's work its proper place in world history. These are not mine words. This is what the chairman of the Nobel Committee, Mr. Stang, said at the Nobel ceremony in 1922, here in Oslo, when Fridtjof Nansen was awarded the Peace Prize. The chairman was, of course, referring to Nansen's work to help the prisoners of war, the refugees, and the millions in Russia who were struggling against famine. No small task to give Nansen's work a proper place in history. And this is something that we have given a lot of thought in the past when we have planned this exhibition. Nansen was a visionary, an agent for change, and he was a forward-looking man. So to properly honor Nansen, we decided to ask, what is the situation for refugees today? The one that could answer this question in a stunningly precise and beautiful way was Espen Rasmussen. Espen, there you are. When you first presented your work for us, we had no doubt. This is the man that can match with Fridtjof Nansen. Like Nansen, Espen has traveled the world to capture the stories of refugees. And as you all can see today, you and Fridtjof Nansen share an important common ground. You both use your camera to make us reflect and react. If you have a closer look in the Nansen section, you will see a series of Nansen photographies that have been curated by Espen in collaboration with us. Over the past 7 years, Espen has followed the victims of numerous conflicts, capturing with his camera the lives of some of the world's 43 million refugees and internally displaced. Your interest for refugees goes a long way back. It started in Chad and Darfur in 2004. And since then, you have made more than 10,000 pictures of refugees. So today, you show us a selection of 99. Your pictures, your words, and your films tell moving stories from 10 different countries. And your stories touch people's hearts. Thank you, Espen, for sharing your stories with us. Nansen's name is forever linked to the Nansen passport, an identity document that gave refugees key rights after the First World War. Among us here in Nansen's homeland, thousands of immigrants still live without any identification papers. One of them is Rahman, a young Iranian refugee, living in Norway without any papers. Without papers, he's unable to get a proper education, a job, a home, or healthcare. We have chosen to give Rahman his own room here, in the Nobel Peace Center. You can visit him over there, where he bravely shares with Espen and all of us his own personal story and hopes for the future. Fridtjof Nansen was a strong leader, but he was also good at delegating and creating teams. Inspired by him, we have created an extraordinary team to produce Transit. Your artistic, intellectual, and practical skills have made this our most extensive exhibition ever. For the first time, we used the whole building, from the floor to the ceiling, to present one single Peace Prize laureate. Together with Espen Rasmussen, Carl Emil Vogt, Norway's foremost expert on the humanitarian Nansen, has been on board from the very beginning to work on the written part. Morten Hanesad has created the spatial design, working closely with Stian Berger, who has delivered the graphic design. Hans Olav Forsand created the initial conceptual design and has also worked closely with Espen with editing and placing Espen's photos. Ronny Berg has contributed with text editing, and Kevin Reeder, Floyd Nielsen, and Gunnar Nyquist with translations. We would also like to thank Anna Stevens from Panos, who represents Espen Rasmussen, for a stunning film production. Color Master for displays and graphics, Back for technical supplies, Anders Ødegaard for a magic lighting, and Truls Rognerud and Gunnar Ausland for beautiful handcrafted walls and exhibition animals. And all these people have been carefully and professionally led by our project manager, Tommy Modasli. Altogether, an enthusiastic and hard-working staff of the Nobel Peace Center and many, many others have been able to create both an exhibition and everything that surrounds it, be it the educational program, press coverage, marketing the technology, or the opening itself. Let me also thank the Museum of Cultural History for the loan of Fridtjof Nansen's Peace Prize medal and diploma. Finally, it's out of the archives, and we would love to keep it if we can. You should have a close look. Actually, now we have the 2 Norwegian Peace Prize laureates medals here, so it's quite rare. The Norwegian National Library and Anne Melgaard, we would like to thank for the loan of Nansen's notebooks and his shattering photos and postcards. The Fridtjof Nansen Institute for the loan of Nansen's very own camera that went with him to the North Pole, or almost to the North Pole, and his own slides. And the UNHCR and the Norwegian Refugee Council for all facts and figures. As you probably know, Nansen was a very talented fundraiser. He even had people sponsoring tobacco for his expeditions to the north. We do not do sponsorship of tobacco, but I'm glad to say that also we have gained strong supporters for transit. We would like to extend our thanks to the following contributors. Without you, this production would not have been possible. Thanks to Hewlett Packard Norway, who have supplied all the prints in the exhibition and all the banners and graphic art. The result is remarkable, as you can see. We would also like to thank the Freedom of Expression Foundation, Fond for Lyd og Bilde, and NORAD. And a big thanks to our generous main sponsors, Hydro, Telenor, Orkla, and ABB, for your continuous support and enthusiasm. Special thanks to Telenor, who has contributed also to the technological solution of the educational program Away from Home. Nansen said, "Love of mankind is politics in practice." It is our hope that Transit will help to bring Nansen's words to life, and that the stories of today's refugee will be heard throughout this exhibition. Thank you.